Okay, let me start over. This is my P40 Pro Plus. I've had this for 4 days now, 96 hours. And if it sounds scripted, it is now. I've talked about how it doesn't have Google services. So I found different apps to get that to work. Then I found different ways to get apps that I couldn't get using the Amazon App Store, using Phone Clone. And then Lucas, who's been in here in chat and who has shared in comments, and other people have as well. They've tried to help me find other ways to get apps. And Lucas yesterday talked about, not yesterday, but a couple days ago, talked about this app called Aurora, the Aurora Store. Aurora Store. I feel like I'm saying that weird now. But hello, this Aurora Store has a ton of apps. It actually has more apps than anything that I found. And it if I'm looking at this correctly, it also updates all of these apps. Everything gets updated, and it has almost everything on it that I can think of. Like, I'm looking at it now, like you'll see here, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, Netflix, Wish, PayPal, Amazon, HBO Max, Discord, and the list goes on and on. And it does it in a way where I can't remember exactly how they're doing it or their focus on it, but they're trying to do it where, like, they let you know if it has ads or if it doesn't, or how Lucas has a better way of explaining it. And I really didn't get the time to do it. All I really did was start downloading all the other apps I didn't have, but it also has my banking apps on it. And I think the difference here, the one thing I complained about with the Phone Clone app, even though it works well, is the fact that it will not update your apps in the future. So when other app updates come out, I don't think you're able to take advantage of those updates unless you use that Phone Clone app again to move the file over or to move the app over. But with the Aurora Store, you're able to just get, so I'm just going to hit more just so we can look at the list of other apps that are on here. Whenever it decides to load, because isn't that a great thing to see that now it's not showing? Okay, let me close the app again. So maybe it's just my end of it. I'm not making excuses if it's being shitty. There we go. So top apps, there we go. So you'll see Zoom, TikTok, the Cash App, Disney Plus, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp. I don't know what that heart one is. Snapchat, Netflix. The list goes on and on. Look, it has DoorDash, Pinterest, Venmo, Spotify. Look, it even has Google Meet. Like, it has a ton of apps on it, and it just keeps going and going. Did you see there's Google Home right there? There's a ton of stuff on here. And I've been able to move a good amount of my apps that I use. I feel like I have almost everything at this point, instead of like core Google apps that I have been trying to avoid anyway, just so like I can try to live away from Google. Not that I'm moving away from Google, but just because I want to see what else is out there. So in terms of the Aurora Store, I've been able to now almost get everything I need. I think there are other things that I need to look into, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet. The one thing I want to share too is, so right now my phone is at 45% battery. I'm just giving you a battery update because why not? This phone's actually had a lot of use on mobile networks. Also, for people who don't know, right now this phone is capable of 5G, right? And I'm going to talk about that as well. So if I look at the power consumption details, if you can see here, it's showing 1 day and 12 hours of usage. So 36 hours with 4.5 hours of screen on time, 4 hours and 34 minutes. So 36 hours of use, 4.5 hours of screen on time, and my battery is at 45% on the top there. If you look at the mobile network signal, you'll see there's a good amount of mobile I've been using on it, right? And then I want to share a video with you guys because I was able to download Speed Test and do a speed test on this phone. And I did a 5G test, speed test on T-Mobile, right? So this is using 5G. You probably can't see it, but this says 5G up top here. The download speed on 5G, and I had full bars with 5G where I was at. And right now it's not impressive, right? This is not speeds that I would typically get. These are speeds I would get anyway on 4G. But look at this upload speed. this upload speed is pretty impressive right here. I was actually really surprised to see this hit close to 30 megabits per second upload. And then I think I tried it again later, and I was able to get about 35 or something upload speed. The download speed didn't change much, but I was pleasantly surprised with upload speed. What can I use that upload speed for? Streaming, right? That would be good in a streaming example. And I'm sure other things for whatever reason, like uploading files or whatever. But the download speed was nothing special. It was still whatever. So, I mean, at least I'm just showing this to let you guys know that, like, hey, like, yeah, that 5G, or at least the sub 6 gigahertz 5G, was pretty good for upload speeds. I don't think I've seen upload speeds that high on my 4G phone. I didn't have my iPhone on me because, like, even though I usually carry two phones, I have been trying to use the P40 Pro Plus as just my primary. I don't typically do many speed tests either. So maybe but I don't think 4G LTE is giving people 30 megabits per second upload speeds, right? I think that just might be a sub 6 gigahertz thing with 5G. I could be wrong. So if I am, I'll look into that later. Maybe I'll go out and I'll test I'll test my iPhone 11 Pro and test the upload speeds on that. But I was surprised to see that. I also have to say that I still can't recommend it to people because it's not just a phone that you use right away. Like, there is a learning curve on using some of these other things. I mean, I guess I could tell people, yeah, just look for, the Aurora Store app and download it and sideload it or whatever. But your typical person who's not a tech person isn't just going to, like, buy that phone and say, yeah, I'll download that and then I'll get everything I need. And, like, why can't I use Google something? Like, so I still can't recommend it. But for someone like me who is really heavy on the camera and wanted something better in a camera experience than the Pixel 4 and the iPhone 11 Pro, this might be it. We'll find out this weekend when I really dig down and edit and do that video. But there's Lucas. Aurora Store is open source front end presentation layer for the Google Play Store. It's made for people that don't trust Google. Thank you, Lucas. I knew that there was a reason that people made this store. It lists if app uses GMS or not and what information are tracked. Lucas, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And so this Aurora App Store isn't just for Huawei. It's not just for people who don't use or who can't use Google services. It's for people, like Lucas said, who don't trust Google, who want to use it to, like, just use the app without having Google have whatever else they added in there. Lucas, thank you for sharing that. He says here, in my experience, only apps missing on Aurora Store are paid apps because of some security restrictions, like missing safety net, which is in the Google Play Store. Lucas, thank you. Actually, I should note, I did try to download Nova Launcher on it and I tried to use it, but then I couldn't get the full experience because I couldn't use Nova Launcher Prime. I think I tried to Google it and they said, try to contact the dev, which surprisingly, the dev is here in Chicago. Anyway, I tried, and they said, if you contact the dev, they might be able to help you out, but I don't know how they would when you let them know that you can't. Well, I don't know. But Lucas, thank you, man. Thank you for the recommendations for all of that. That really, I mean, it's good that I got to test everything else out beforehand, the Amazon App Store, and then the phone clone app, just to see what other options I have and just to share that. I think that's important too. But that Aurora Store, it seems like it has everything on it. So again, thank you so much for sharing that. Paul says, test here gives 268 megabits down, 49 up. I hate you, Paul. I hate you so much. Is that on 4G? On 4G. That just goes to show how bad it is here in the States. 268 down? That's ridiculous. We don't get that here. Is that normal? Is that normal speeds? That's not normal for the US whatsoever. And here we are touting 5G like it's, the second coming, and we can't even get speeds like you're getting on 4G. So look at that. That's ridiculous.